Welcome to the Prospect Warehouse Podcast. This is your host, Tim Kanak. You can find me on X at Fantasy Aceball. And today we have the supreme leader himself, John Anderson at John PGH, supreme leader of a growing brand, a growing podcast, a growing website, not a dying one. No one's trying to assassinate you yet.
Okay. Current events. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, that's a sign you finally made it when people start coming after you. So we're not quite there yet, but hopefully getting there. Growing for sure.
I almost call you the Supreme Heifer. I was like, should I say the Supreme Heifer just because you always get heifer and hefe?
I only weigh 147 pounds, so I can't be in the heifer discussion yet. But someone told me, and they commented on my Derek Carty podcast that I need to eat a hamburger. It's like, can you even tell? Can you tell that I'm underweight just by looking at my shoulders and head? I don't know. I guess so.
You do appear thinner than most Americans, which many people will. If you're at even an average weight, you will what should be average. If the I can't remember what it is, the body mass index or whatever they call it, BMI, is pretty ridiculous. I think the majority of Americans are overweight according to body mass index because all it cares about is your weight against your height. So if you're you could be ripped and it muscle weighs more than fat, and then it's going to say that you're overweight. So it's a lie unless you're like you and you just run. I don't run.
Yeah. So. Right. Yeah. I just run. I run. I very rarely fit pants. I seriously have a 29-inch waist, but I don't look like Christian Bale in that one movie, disgustingly skinny, but I'm definitely not,
the machinist.
I'm not turning any heads at the beach or anything like that, but I'm happy. I feel it's better to be this than, than the heifers and then the big guys. Better for your heart too. So I'm a happy man.
Machinist.
I'm about as happy as can be, dude. I don't even know. A lot of people like to complain about how hard their lives are, and I just want to always talk about how great my life is. But then it's is that bragging? Am I rubbing it into people? Should I just keep it moving? But man, everything is great. This is just a fantastic time of year. I get to do this baseball stuff all the time and make money for it. It's not even it's not even a hobby anymore where I feel I should be doing other more important things. It's this is kind of like a job, and it's great. It's fantastic. And you've helped a lot. And shout out to Hunter and Doc and John and a new guy. I guess we won't announce anybody new yet, but we'll have some new people, and it's just going to keep going. So it's great. I hope people are enjoying our work. I think, a lot of good feedback, and hopefully it gets better.
Yeah. So definitely subscribe if you haven't yet, because again, MLB Data Warehouse is growing. The brand is growing. You're just going to be getting more and more content. Now is the time to subscribe.
And I've already made
drafts.
I know it's lucky, but if you read my daily notes on the first day of spring and did the thing I told you to do with betting spring underdogs, I've been betting. I know people are cagey about betting, and it's largely not a great thing for society, but if it's there and if you have an edge, take it. So I've been betting these spring training underdogs plus 130 or higher, just because how are we not saying that every spring training game is a coin flip, right? But then you're getting plus 180, you're getting almost 2-to-1 returns. So I've been doing every single one. I have made $400 some doing that. It's been incredible. Pretty lucky, no doubt. I'm not saying it's a proven system, but it's been great. So if you listen to me there, you're off to a good start, and there'll be more where that came from. Probably not that successful, but that's been fun.
Yeah, just especially the WBC ones, when it's a country versus a major league team, that really is a coin flip. You have some weird countries out there playing.
Did any team win yesterday though? I was looking at that because every country beat. You would expect the not the USA team or the Dominican Republic team or those loaded teams, but I think Israel beat the Marlins 1-0 or something, right? That was surprising, but I don't know if a single MLB team won their game yesterday, but
yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to that game right now. I think people are kind of unhappy with what's going on.
Yeah. Which one's less popular, the Miami Marlins or Israel right now?
Yeah. I want to know, did Iran and Israel face off in any Olympic sports? Was there a showdown?
I don't know, what would they even do?
Bobsledding. I watched zero Olympics.
Israel, right?
I think I watched the final. I watched the very end of the final hockey game when I got out of church that day, and that was it.
We like the Olympics. It was fun. But
well, I don't know. I try not to put TVs on in my house when I can. So unless we're watching baseball, because that's how it is in the Connect residence. So let's get to shortstops. We're talking redraft shortstops in this episode.
Tim's rankings. Mine are already out. These are Tim's. But
this is the deepest position per number of slots you have on your team, pretty easily. One could argue outfield is deeper, but if you're in a 5 outfielder league, I disagree. I think if you're in a 3 outfielder league, then probably it's close. But in a 5 outfielder league, ain't no way, in my opinion. So top 5 here, we've got number 1, Bobby Witt Jr., number 2, Gunnar Henderson, number 3, Elly De La Cruz, 4, Francisco Lindor, and 5, Zach Neto. The top 3 guys here are all pretty unanimous first-round selections in any size league, 10, 12, 15 teamer. Those 3 guys are going to be first-rounders in redraft. Lindor actually went in the second round of my TGFBI, even with the hamate injury. So I found that interesting. And I snagged, I guess.
Snagged and nabbed.
Yeah, kidnapped Zach Neto in the 3rd round. And I was really happy about getting Zach Neto in the 3rd round of my TGFBI, picking from the 6th hole. So I did not think he'd make it back to me. I think Neto is the most underrated out of all those guys. And by the way, I made that ranking pre-Lindor injury. I would probably draft Neto ahead of Lindor right now with that handmade issue.
They're close, yeah.
Yeah, because he's not gonna hit as many bombs this year. So like, knowing that he has the hand injury, it's probably gonna drop his batting average. I mean, like, it might drop his batting average 10 points, and it might drop his home run total like 10 bombs. So at that point, like, you're basically at Zach Neto territory, except Neto is healthy and Lindor will be coming off of an injury. They more or less, if you consider those factors, they more or less have like the same projections.
Yep. Yeah, Neto gets the nod here in SRV, standard roto value. 6 more steals projected for him. Lindor, the age is what, 7, 6, what was it here? We got Lindor at 32, Neto at 25. So that's one guy leaving his prime, one guy entering it. So advantage Neto there. Projections. Is it Neto? Neto? Zach Neto? Probably Neto.
I've always said Neto. Yeah. Neto is like, I can't do that. I can't be like Neto.
Right. Yeah, it's too enthusiastic for sure. We got to stick with Neto.
Yeah. Especially you.
Batting average.
Like you're too negative for Neto.
Yeah, no enthusiasm at MLB Data Warehouse. Doc even put, he might have to, if he ever gets fired, it'll be for being too enthusiastic. Neto 250, but Lindor's never been a batting average dude. He's had some years, but yeah, I could see that. I just don't really want either one of them. Feels like Neto is a little bit overpriced, and like you alluded to right away, like so many options at the position. In my perfect draft, which came out yesterday, I took 2 dudes. First one, Elly, in the 1st round. I'm not like over the moon about Elly. I don't have to get him. I'm not setting my like draft preference to get him or anything like that. I just think that he's great, and there's a whole new level he can go to, which we were seeing last year before this like leg injury kind of seemed to derail his season. But at the same time, you could argue his batting average has never been great, strikes out a good bit. And I don't know. I like it a lot. I like the 40 steals, the easy 20 homer floor with some batting average upside and whatnot. So I'm with you on the top 3. You have Witt, Gunnar, Elly.
So you are Gunnar ahead of Elly, just like
no, I'm Elly, but so I didn't say I guess I said that. That's my top 3, but I have
on the top 3
in the names of the 3, not in the order. I do have Elly above Gunnar. In a points league, you could certainly take Gunnar over that for the walks when the steals are less important. But yeah, that's the clear top 3. Lindor, I have at 4 as well, and Neto at 5. So our top 5 matches, just flip Elly and Gunnar.
Yeah, I think Gunnar is much safer too. Like, he's definitely going to hit for a better batting average unless Elly just has like a 380 BABIP season or something like that. And Gunnar, I think, like 17 bombs last year. That's not going to happen again. He had 28 as a rookie, 37 the next year. Like, he should be a 30 homer player. So I think that Gunnar is probably more like a 30. Like, I feel like his 2024 season is what he should be. 281, 37 bombs, 21 steals. That's closer to what he should be doing this year, rather than like last year. So
he played hurt last year, and we didn't know that for sure. And I don't even know if it was like announced before this offseason, but he came out and said like, yeah, I was not healthy last year. So I think it's a good buy low on Gunnar, which is crazy to say. He's in the middle of the second round, but I still think that's a value.
Second round, first round.
Gunner's not going in the first round. No.
What? Yeah, he did. Okay, so let me bring up. He went in the first round of my TGFBI. I think he should go in the first round.
15-team league, maybe
top 10
his
player.
ADP is like 14, 15. That's second round for most situations. But yeah, 15-team league, it's at the back. So.
Yeah, crazy.
And he started, I guess, in November, December, he was at like 17, 18. So you got nice steals there. But after the injury stuff came out and after the Orioles upgraded, people are a little more interested in him. Like you can in a 10, 12-team league, you're getting him in the second round, and that's a thumbs up for me.
So he went in my TGFBI at number 12 overall. So yeah, I guess you're right. 12. Ellie went 9. So Ellie did go ahead in that one.
A lot of this depends on where those pitchers go. Like Ellie, Gunnar, Julio Rodriguez, those three kind of can go up or down if you pick based on who jumps in at Scooball or Skeens or Crochet, right? So that can change. But yeah, you're talking back end of first round or the beginning of the second if you're lucky.
Lindor went 21 in my TGFBI.
Yeah, and then we showed the trend here. As soon as that Hammett thing hit, and you don't like 21, so that he started at 16, 17, and he's gone as high as 30. But yeah, he's definitely a second round guy now. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree. I didn't really like him even before. I had him on my initial busts list. Just seemed like more room for downside than upside. You're kind of buying him at the ceiling, it seemed like, and now that's even more risky. But again, at the same time, the price is more palatable now. You can get him you could probably get him in the very beginning of the third round in some leagues, which isn't, it's a little bit appealing. So.
That's the only place I'd be picking him. I would be picking Lindor. Like I would have pre-injury been picking him as a second rounder, and then post-injury now at like the beginning of the third or something. Yeah. But now like I feel like if you're drafting him at 21, there's not value there in that. I guess maybe he could have gone like 18 or something, but I don't know.
He's like 30 the last couple of years. I mean, it's hard to say too many bad things about him. He's done
very
extremely
true.
well. Yeah.
Very true. Okay, let's get to the next 5.
Yeah, 1 second. Shortstop 2. Here we go.
Numero 6 is Trey Turner, who Turner is generally getting drafted ahead of ahead of Neto. He went ahead of Neto in my TGFBI. He was a second rounder while I snagged Neto in the third. They have the same F score. Lindor, Turner, and Neto, all three have a 108 F score. So I guess keep that in mind. It kind of is just like, what do you want more? Turner is going to give you more steals than the other two guys, probably. And the other two guys, even in his age, he's still probably going to get you more steals. And then the other guys are going to get you a little more power. Now, John, Trey Turner hit 295 in 2024 and 304 last year. Do you think, like, when is his batting average going to finally slow down? Because this guy is now going to be 33. He has a career 297 batting average.
Yeah.
Like, should we expect batting average regression at some point? Because my thesis, I guess, on Trey has always been as he gets older, he's going to lose bat speed and he's going to lose foot speed, which is going to bring his batting average and his stolen base totals down. And it's going to make him a less effective fantasy baseball player. But we haven't seen that yet.
Does a loss in bat speed mean you're hitting fewer line drives? Because that's kind of how he does it, right? He just doesn't strike out a lot and hits a ton of line drives. You're going to strike out. If with loss of bat speed, you're just going to be behind on some pitches. You're going to strike out more, which that means you're not going to get on base as much. And then getting older, his foot speed, theoretically, you would think he'd be getting slower, but he actually had the most stolen bases last season than he has had since 2018. So he had 43 steals in 2018, 36 last year. So the most since 2018. So I doubt he's going to repeat that. But he was the fastest sprint speed in the league last year. So no signs of losing that yet.
It's crazy. Well, home to first matters more for stolen bases than sprint speed. But
it proves he has not lost. He was at 30.3 last year, which was tied for the third highest of his career. It's elite. He hasn't slowed down. I wouldn't count on it this year. But yeah, the homers as on the screen, you can see big 2021 season, 28 bombs. Was that with the Dodgers or was Dodgers, or was that tweener year?
I think those are the Dodgers. That was when he was traded. That was the year he was traded to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So
but still 26 in 2023, 15 last year. That's a big decline. So
yeah, I mean, he's always been more of like a 20 homer guy. So I kind of expect closer to 20 than anything. Like 15, he'll probably hit more than that. 21 the year before, that's about right. He's hit 21 home runs. He's hit between 19 to 21 home runs 4 seasons of his career. So four out of what, like 10 seasons. So like 50% of his career, he's hitting between 19 to 21 home runs.
Yeah, what was the barrel rate last year? I know he's not like the typical power hitter. He's just like he pulls a decent amount, 14%.
5.8% barrel. So barrel rates have been decreasing actually. So his peak barrel rates were from the age of 27. He had a 9.5 until 30. He had an 8.4, and then now it's been down again. So basically, like those Dodger seasons were in like the first year with the Phillies. Even though like remember he was like terrible when he first got to the Phillies, and then he just had this ridiculous second half. So like. Yeah. Those 3 seasons were his best as far as barrels and power in general. And it's since 30, it's been down ticking. So it's not like it's like been consistently down, but it's actually like down ticking. So it could get worse.
This is bad here. The EV profile, this is one thing that can't see everywhere, but on the main dashboard, you can see these EV percentiles broken down by batted ball type. So you see the 104.2 90th percentile overall, and that's pretty good. We're talking about Trey Turner here. But then you break it down by fly balls, ground balls, line drives. He's hitting his line drives and ground balls at 105, 106, but the fly balls were 101. That is not going to turn into a home run very often. So, yeah, I mean, you might be looking at another 15 homer season. Maybe you even go down towards 12. You know, maybe he's like a dozen homer dude from maybe not this year, but I don't know. Like, I don't think you need to prioritize Trey Turner. I think the price is still up there for the average in steals, but I don't know. Like you said, I said I like Nico Horner, kind of the same dude. Is he just Nico Horner now? And you can get him a lot cheaper, younger dude. So
better power. He'll still hit like 10 more home runs than Nico Horner. Well, maybe besides that, that might be the same.
It seems like the power was always like iffy. It was never a dude like just crushing balls, hitting 12% barrel rates and stuff like that. So it just could be gone. I don't know. And then. We haven't seen the speed go away yet, but like you alluded to, he's 33. So it seems like you're kind of on the cliff's edge with Trey, and we could lose it in a year, which is too bad. One of my favorite players, named my son after the guy, Trey. That was kind of an elaborate long con joke, but I will always remember Trey Turner, but I probably don't want him this year. Like I'll take CJ Abrams over him at price, and probably want to get into shortstop before this anyway. Like I would like to get one of those top 3 and not really have to go into these waters. There's a couple guys late, which we'll get to, but yeah, I sadly have to say I'm probably out on Trey Turner mostly.
Yeah. Next is Bo Bichette, who I actually really like this year more for third base than for shortstop, because third base is much worse than shortstop, but he will have shortstop eligibility, so you will have the option to play him there. But 124 hit tool, I think I think we've mentioned it before. I think that's the top F score hit tool for Bo Bichette. Which Bichette, the reason that his hit tool is so good on the F scores is because it has really, really good contact rates and then super, super high swing rates. So he just like is always swinging and then always hitting the ball. So like when you have good contact rates, good swing rates, and then you also have like a pretty solid like BABIP versus like career BABIP, that means like you're not gonna really have regression. Like a 342 BABIP last season, he has a career 339. So that means that 311 batting average is pretty real. Like there's no reason for that to go down, especially he was only 27 last year. So last year was theoretically like the first year of his peak. So he's going to have a few years here that he's going to be like in the middle of his peak here with the Mets. And he's going to be hitting around Juan Soto, and he's going to be hitting around Francisco Lindor. So there's going to be tons of opportunities, way more even than with the Blue Jays for counting stats. So I actually really like Bichette this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get like 25 bombs, 4 or 5 steals, and then like over 100 runs on RBI with like a 280 to 300 something batting average. Wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Yeah, he had the big 2021 season, 29 homers, 25 steals. last year was his best OPS, 840. It was his best year. He missed 20 some games, 18 homers, didn't homer at the same rate, and the steals just have never been back. Stole 25 in 2021, 13, 5, 5, and 4. So I guess you're losing hope that he can ever be like a double-digit steals dude, but you made a good case there. Cut 5 more points off the K rate. Always had a good K rate, down to 14% last year. Like you said, just a line drive machine, contact machine. Even the OBP like doesn't walk a lot, 6% every year, but still 357 last year with that high batting average. Every year except 2024, played half a year, kind of throw that one out, right? Every year other than that one, he's been a 300 hitter or like 290 or above. So you get average, you get pretty decent power, and like you said, probably the best. I mean, the Blue Jays have had some pretty good lineups, but this Mets one is probably the best he's been. So good case for him. Just not really a steals target, which downgrades for me, but I'm probably too low. So maybe I should move him up.
Yeah, especially for third base, man. Third base is just so bad. He's probably like, I think he's my number 3 third baseman or something this year. It's like, yeah, like Caminero, Machado, and Bichette, basically.
I have him behind. Yeah, I do. I have a problem. I have him behind Abrams and Seager, which is probably wrong. We'll get to Abrams. I think he's underrated, but Bichette's good.
Yep. Next, number 8 is Geraldo Perdomo. Perdomo is kind of hard to rank because he is awesome in points leagues or OBP leagues. And then in other leagues, like I don't expect him to repeat what he did last year. I think he's good. Like I think, and I think what we have under the hood here shows that he's going to be good, but it doesn't, he's not going to do what he did. 87.6 EV, 108 max. He had 20 bombs last year. He's probably more like a mid-teens home run total, like 15 home runs is more realistic.
Yeah.
So this is a major regression candidate. Unfortunately, like his home run total will probably be closer to 15. His stolen base total, 27 steals last year, 6 caught stealing. It's probably going to go down from that. Like I doubt he's got some speed, but he's not really fast. I expect more like 15, 20 from him. 290 batting average is realistic though. He has good plate skills and he has a good hit tool. So I think that the hit tool can be maintained, but you're not going to get as much power and speed out of him next year. And that means you're probably also not going to get as many runs and RBI out of him. So, and then the Diamondbacks also had a ton of injuries last year. So you kind of expect that they'll probably be a little bit more healthy this year. They're going to have other guys that come into the lineup that might take some of the at-bats that Perdomo had in the middle of the order. So I kind of expect less from Perdomo this year, but for points leagues, this dude's a beast. 13% walk rate, only an 11% K rate. And I think the hit tool is going to be just as good. So I don't understand the projections here, though, John. They've got all the projections have him hitting like 250 to 260. It's like, what the heck? He had a 303 BABIP last year and a 290 batting average. He has a 93.7 zone contact. He's fast. And his zone swing, like he could be a little more aggressive in the zone, but it's not terrible. So I don't really understand why they have his batting average going down, except for the fact that he was way better last year than he had been in previous years. And they're just weighing his career averages in, and it's just pulling him down.
That's how it works.
Projecting out, yeah, but that's not projecting out, number one, that this guy debuted as like a 21-year-old, and he like had a really bad first year in the league. And they're not projecting out growth, that this guy is entering his peak. He's going to be 26 this year. So he's getting closer and closer to his peak. So even though I'm saying like I don't expect the power and the speed to be there to the extent it was last year, I don't expect his batting average to go down. So I think the projections are wrong.
Do you think he's going to hit 290 again?
Yeah, I think he can. A 303 BABIP. If his BABIP gets back to the 317 he had in 2024, and yeah, you bake in a little bit of regression and BABIP to average spread, I think he can hit 290 again. I'd probably expect more like 285, but I think he's a really good hitter. I mean, his contact rates are really good, and he's got some speed, and he doesn't hit the ball. Like, it's not like he's a softball hitter. You know what I mean? Like, he does hit the ball, at least like he's not hitting the ball hard, 28% hard hit rate, but 56% medium. So like, he's not like, it's not like it's bad. It's just not, his maxes aren't great. So he's not a power hitter. You know what I mean? He's just a really good hitter.
Right. You're just probably going to fall back into the teens and home runs. I had this on the Diamondbacks preview. The lowest 90th percentile EVs for guys that hit 20 homers. It was him and Betts. Betts does it with a bunch of air pulls. Perdomo just kind of did it with air pull and stuff, but he played a ton. I mean, he missed one game. He had almost 600 at bats. Like, he was near the league leaders in playing time, so that's always hard to repeat. I mean, you can't go up from that, right? He can't have he can't have more volume this year. Unless he does it Rafael Devers and gets traded and plays an extra game, right? But yeah, the volume's going to naturally regress down. Probably doesn't have to be, I guess. Like, if he's healthy, I'm sure they'll be happy to play him every day again. But what are the chances any given player doesn't get hurt at all to play that many games? So I think you're at 14, 15 home runs, 15 steals. And, I'm down on him for that reason, but maybe too far because maybe the batting average stuff can stick. He's certainly not at any risk of losing playing time on a team that'll hit him at the top of the lineup now. I don't like the team context either. I mean, this time last year they had Naylor and Suarez, and those guys had really nice seasons. And now they don't have either of those guys. And Carroll is a little bit of a question mark. Probably not really, but I don't know. It's just a bad team. So I don't really want anybody on Arizona.
They're not a bad team. I think that this could be a sneaky team. I think they could sneakily make the playoffs, actually.
It's a terrible team.
Dude, you got Marte, Moreno is good. You got Nolan Arenado there playing a stellar third. You got some interesting guys like Jordan Lawler and Ryan Waldschmidt. Jordan Lawler was in your perfect dream draft, bro. You got to like him.
I know the upside, but the downside is all of them have terrible downside.
You've got good pitching, too. Gallon is
good pitching.
Gallon is going to bounce back. I'm telling you, Gallon's going to bounce back. Fott's going to have a better year. You're going to have Corbin Burns coming back at some point. Merrill Kelly's awesome. Super underrated. So they got Michael Soroka now. Like, this pitching's fine. Like,
I will agree that Brandon Pfaadt and Zach Allen can be better this year because they were two of the worst pitchers in the league. So I'll give you that, but it's a bad team. I'm down. I'm off. I'm under the wins. I think give me like under 75 wins on the Diamondbacks. I think they're bad.
Ooh. No way. I think they're better than that. I think they're at least a league average team, if not a sneaky potential.
Put it on the imaginary board. I really got to start that. We've got plenty of hypothetical bets, but Diamondbacks down. Don't really like Perdomo, but points league, like you said, perfectly fine.
Yep. Number 9 is Corey Seager. Seager's awesome. He just gets hurt every single year and has no speed to speak of. So, like, you almost have to factor in, like, let's look at his games played. He has only played 150 games or more one time since 2016, 2 times in his entire career. Over the last 3 seasons, here's his gameplay totals: 119, 123, 102. So this dude is probably only playing in 125 games, would be a solid guess, I would say. So that's going to bring his totals down because he should be like a 35 homer guy. But if he's going to miss a fifth of the season, that's going to make him a 20. The projections are probably right. The projections got 27, 28 home runs. It's probably about right. It means his RBI and run totals are going to be lower. And so I actually like the projections for him. Unlike for Perdomo, if you just look at like the Bad X's projection for Corey Seager, that's pretty spot on. Batting average might be a little bit higher, but that's about it. 276 batting average with 28 bombs, 71 runs, 83 RBI. That looks like really good to me for Corey Seager. So you're not going to get any steals from him, and he's going to get hurt. He's going to be great when he plays. That's just Corey Seager in a nutshell.
That's the bet. Is which will be greater, his trips to the IL or his stolen bases? And it's like a coin flip. So,
I like that.
It's like a coin flip.
That's hilarious. That should be a bet. I would love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless maybe he'll just hit the IL once and then be out for the whole year. But
exactly. Yeah.
He's got a rough. CJ Abrams.
You're an Abrams guy. Dude, I just can't trust this guy. He's like, he obviously doesn't really care. He's like going out gambling and playing blackjack until 4 a.m. or whatever. Like, I don't know. You can't really trust this guy.
That was like 8 years ago.
You said you'd rather take him than Trey Turner. Trey Turner is definitely better, dude, because he's
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the cost
for the value.
I'd rather wait and just get Abrams rather than paying up for Turner.
All right. So Abrams, has a 249 career batting average. This is a weird one, right? Like this guy's never even had a 300 BABIP. How does a guy this fast in 4 seasons not get a 300 BABIP? I mean, he doesn't hit the ball that hard, 29.8% hard hit rate, and not enough line drives.
Too many fly balls.
So, yeah, too many fly balls, too many just kind of like soft hit liners, I guess. Not enough barrels. Barrel rate at 7.6% and still not even a 300 BABIP. Kind of crazy. But yeah, I guess he's just too inconsistent. I don't really like him. Reminds me of O'Neal Cruz a little bit too much. He's like the opposite O'Neal Cruz. O'Neal Cruz is like a huge power, with speed guy. He's like just the reverse version, like the mini O'Neal Cruz.
This is the difference. The way we look at things is you kind of look at the full picture, the full hitter, the discipline, the plate, the hit tool. I'm basically just I oversimplify it. First thing I look at is how many homers, how many steals, and he kind of does that for me. You know, he's
averaging the baseball card.
He averages 20 homers and he averages more than last 3 years. He's averaged 19 point something homers and quick math. What is this? 38 steals. Like he's a 20-30 machine, and he's not hitting 210. You know, he's hitting 250. And like you said, maybe he hits more line drives this year. There's more room for growth in the BABIP than decline. So I could see 20, 30, 260. That's pretty nice for where he goes. Runs and RBIs is a problem. The Nationals aren't going to be good, but him and Wood at the top of the lineup, it's not the worst, like top of the lineup. And Lyle too. I mean, they got 3 hitters. That's about as positive as you can be about it. Nationals' bigger problem is pitching. So I don't know. I don't think they finished last in runs or whatever, but yeah, our runs plus RBIs isn't going to be great. He did score 92 runs last year, which is decent, but RBI is going to be rough. No, not a huge upside in power, but yeah, you can feel pretty good about getting 50 home runs plus steals, and maybe he grows up a little bit. Maybe he's focuses in September. Maybe he locks in. Maybe he's getting close to being a free agent and wants to show it, because it does seem it wasn't just that year. Like he's finished, I think his whole career, he pretty much finishes poorly, and he still does these decent numbers. So I'm thinking if it is a mental thing, like who knows, maybe he locks in, maybe he grows up a little bit and finishes strong. That's more narrative street than I want to live on. But for home runs and steals and a decent value, Abrams is a fine consolation prize for me at shortstop.
So CJ Abrams in my TGFBI went in the middle of the 4th round, and Bo Bichette went at the turn of the 5th and 6th round. So basically, what you're fighting for right there is Bichette could get you like 10 more homers and 50 better points of batting average, and Abrams is going to get you 30 steals. What do you find more valuable, John, in a roto league?
The steals, but it depends on who you started with, right? If you started with picking
Ellie,
right? Then you don't. Yeah, I mean that's shortstop thing is a bad example, but if you start with Corbin Carroll and you think you're getting 40 steals from him, then you don't really need the 30 from Abrams, and you go somewhere else. But on balance, I think Abrams is his ADPs. You're right though. I didn't think he would be that much higher than Bichette. He's like around pick 70. Bichette's pick 100. I'll take Bichette there as well. That's good. But home runs and steals, if you're in a standard roto league, Abrams, we give you Abrams. He's decent.
Yep. Next 5. Number 11 is Ezequiel Tovar with the Rockies. John's favorite.
Finally, number 12. Someone else who kind of likes Tovar. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Number 12, Jeremy Pena with the Astros. Number 13, Willy Adames with the Giants. 14, Mookie Betts with the Dodgers. And 15, Colson Montgomery with the White Sox. So Betts is still getting picked pretty high, man. He went in the 5th round, near the beginning of the 5th round of this TGFBI league. And I guess it's just like on name value, because under the hood, he was aging, man. Like he was not as good last year. And like, okay, guys can always improve. Like we've seen an old guy have like an old guy season and then come back and like get good again. So I guess that it is Mookie Betts. The dude is a beast of an athlete. He's like the best bowler in the world or whatever. So, I mean, like, yeah, it could happen again. But I don't know. I'm not necessarily buying like full rebound from him at age 33. So just kind of interesting to see that Trey Turner has aged better than Mookie Betts and they're the same age. Kind of fun note to look at. But going back to Ezequiel Tovar at the top here, 121 hit tool. Tovar has the 2nd best hit tool, I want to say, to Bichette out of major leaguers. And he hits in Colorado. So, like a 253 batting average, he should have a better batting average than that. I don't really know why his batting averages have not really caught up to the hit tool. He doesn't hit he's hitting the ball hard, 35% hard hit rate, 40 or 52 medium with a 28% line drive rate. That's really good. So I don't really understand why his batting averages are not higher, especially considering he's playing in cores. To me, that just kind of seems like bad luck. What do you think about that, John?
Did you notice I was like I got kicked out of here for a minute? You didn't notice that? You just talked right through that? That's good. I lost my Wi-Fi for a second. So I missed a lot of what you said. Tovar, just not great at anything, but yeah, like you said, hit tool, base hits, hitting on the top of the lineup. Good.
Now I notice it. All right. I don't know if you're coming back. Okay. John froze again. So I'm going to continue. So Tovar, yeah, I don't know. He had a 331 career BABIP, 258 career average. For a guy with a good hit tool, good zone contacts, good contact rates, good swing rates, should get better in the batting average department. And last year he was hurt, 9 home runs, 5 steals in 95 games. Current projections have him like 2010. Like, for instance, Bad X has him at 21 home runs, 10 steals. I think that's about right for Tovar. So maybe less power. Like, he has a 97 F score power. So I think that the reason that some of these projections have more power is probably because of the 26 home runs that he had in 2024, and because the power is going to be happening in cores. So I would project probably more like the 10 steals is probably about right. Maybe like 18 to 20 homers. I don't know if he's getting back to 26. And I think the batting average is going to improve.
Yeah, I cut out again. I don't know. I'm letting you down.
So. No, that time we caught.
Okay. Okay, so let me just change the subject if I am. What's the deal? You don't like Mookie Betts? Because I love Mookie Betts.
No, I don't. Because pull up his bat speed. Pull up. I want to show on the screen.
Dude, he was like he had the stomach bug last year. You know.
Yeah. His exit velocities are all down from his career. So exit velocity's down. Yes, he had a bad BABIP last year, so he's definitely going to positively regress. He's going to be better than he was last year, right?
The case is, yeah, he didn't like look good at all last year.
Look at the sprint speed. Sprint speed's down. Bat speed's down. He's getting older. I just think he's aging. So, like, we've seen this. I watched Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt do this, like, in perfect view for, I mean, you see McCutchen do it. Yeah. He's just he's past his peak. It's pretty obvious he's past his peak. He's lost his speed.
Such a good hitter, though. He never relied on. He was never like a toolsy dude that that did it all with like physical, power, speed, those kinds of things. He was just always an excellent hitter. So he loses 20 pounds in late March last year because of this illness. I think we believe that, right? Like that's not some excuse. And he's terrible. He's not hitting the ball hard. He's not doing anything. And then, 3 months passes by and he gets the weight back and, gets over that. And he finishes the last 2 months pretty much like he had been playing the years before that. So, and even he's said like he feels, I don't know, probably shouldn't even listen to the dudes who talk about themselves, but he said like, I'm ready to bounce back. I'm ready to have a big year. And then just like this Dodgers lineup, Tucker, Ohtani, Freeman can make up for quite a bit of lost whatever. So it's a big bounce back pick for me. You can give him like the 5th or 6th round. And I'm all about that.
All right. So the projections are all pretty unanimous in this and more or less have him around a 270 batting average with 20 to 24 home runs and 8 to 10 steals.
Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty correct. But why then is Mookie Betts going before Bo Bichette when if you believe the projections between Mookie Betts and Bichette is going to give you a better batting average and more power and maybe a few, like 5 steals less. But you're looking at like 30 points of batting average difference and like 3 or 4 homers. I'll take the batting average over 5 steals all day.
Why can't Betts hit to 90 again? Like why?
Okay. Also, Also, Mookie Betts has played in, let's see, since 2018. He has had 150 games 3 times, and that's in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons. So in only 3 out of 7 seasons has he had 150 games played in the last 7 seasons. So are you really going to project him to have full playing time? I think that you can only project him for like 130 or 140 games because he's consistently been hurt. I mean, he's still been good during that time, but I just think the power is gone at this point, and he hasn't stolen 20 bags since he was 25 years old. So, like, he's not stealing. Like, he's not stealing a lot. He's going to get a decent amount of steals just because he's a smart base runner. We just saw his sprint speed's gone, and I don't think the power is coming back. So I think he's low to mid-20s power guy. That's it.
2024, I'm just kind of betting that he can get back to 2024 where he had 19 homers, 16 steals, and that was in 116 games. So you missed a quarter of the season. Is that right? 120 out of 160, something like that. So he would have been 23 homers, 19, 20 steals, hit 289 that year.
He hasn't had 19. He hasn't had 19 or 20 steals since 2018, though.
Yeah, I suppose he was gonna do it in 2024, but he missed extra time. So I think, yeah, you're not depending on the steals. Hopefully, you're getting your steals somewhere else, and you're not going to get 30 homers or anything like that. But I like the cost because I think it's like, how many runs plus RBIs could he get in this with this Dodgers thing? Like, could he get 250?
Well, depends on how many games he plays, man. He hasn't stayed healthy. Picking him in the 5th round is kind of crazy to me. Like,
I think it's a steal.
Well, like, for instance, let me just give you an example here. I already talked about Bo Bichette. We have Jaron Duran was picked after Mookie Betts in this TGFBI. I like Duran better. I think Duran's going to have a better season than Mookie Betts. I would not do that. So just Riley Green picked a whole round behind Mookie Betts. To me, that's crazy.
Maybe people are maybe too high on the Dodgers stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you really think Riley Green is going to have less counting stats than the Mookie Betts? No way. Yeah. Riley Green stays healthy. Riley Green's going to hit for 15 more home runs than Mookie, 10 or 15 home runs more than Mookie Betts. He'll probably have 5 less steals, and he's going to have a better batting average. So, and he's hitting in the middle of the Tigers lineup, and he's going to be healthy.
280. Riley Green's hit 260. So.
I think Riley Green he's another guy that has a way better hit tool than the batting averages he's put up in the past. So I would not, like, if Riley Green hit 300, I wouldn't be surprised at all. All right. So staying on the shortstop, as John froze again, let's get to 12, Jeremy Pena. Jeremy Pena, pretty interesting guy. I'm actually a little bit higher on him this year than I have been in the past. I don't know what's going on with John's internet connection today. But Jeremy Pena had a really good year last year. I don't necessarily expect a repeat of that year, but I do expect something between his 2024 and 2025 seasons. And, like, it makes sense that he had a better year last year because he was age 27 last year. So he was closer to his peak, peaking upwards, getting better, getting closer to that peak. And so right now he's in this peak. So I expect something similar. 2020 and okay, everything just went away now. I guess John had to reset his internet, but I'm still here. So 2024, he had a 266 batting average with 15 homers, 20 steals. 2025, he had 17 home runs and 20 steals. So very consistent between that, but the batting average went up 40 points. But the BABIP also went up 40 points. So I'd expect more like a 270 to 280 batting average with, again, 20 steals and like 15 to 18 bombs. Something like that, I think, is very possible for one Jeremy Pena as John rejoins us. I just gave the rundown on Jeremy Pena. Quick thoughts on Jeremy Pena here?
Not going to hit for that high of a batting average. Fine. Home run, steals, both a little bit low, but can do a little bit of everything. Just not going to hit 300 again. I don't know if you said that, but that was lucky last year. Don't love the Astros team context that great either. So he's fine, but nothing. I'm not like jumping out of head. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. Don't want him. Don't hate him.
He's leading off this year, so I'd almost expect the runs and RBIs to flip. So last year at 84 runs, 111 RBI. Just like maybe flip those. 111 runs, probably not though. Maybe like 105, something like that.
Yeah, 15, 16, 17 homers, 20 steals, I guess. His max is 20 steals, so you're not getting a ton there. I think he can hit 260, 270 again. So
280 batting
again,
average.
like just like one of those guys I'm okay with
no,
if it
did
falls.
John freeze again? What is going on with John's internet today?
I'm talking. I'm here.
You froze for a second.
Total disaster podcast. Colson Montgomery, did you get to him yet? What am I missing?
Willie Adames and Colson Montgomery. Are they the same thing? Are they basically going to be the same thing, except Colson Montgomery is a younger Willie Adames?
Yeah, less certain, more strikeouts. Colson Montgomery's strikeout rate is terrifying. Really has to keep up that elite fly ball, hard hit fly ball stuff. I wouldn't touch him, I don't think, but it could work.
Colson Montgomery or Murakami for this year?
Great question.
Are they the same guy? But one's a shortstop and one's a third.
They're very similar. I'll take Montgomery just because of American chauvinism.
All right. We can move to the next 5.
Okay. 4. Here they come. Trevor Story.
All right. Yeah, Story's good, man. He's talking about if you want value, I think Trevor Story is the value guy. Where's he going right now? This is value tier right here. Actually, this whole tier right here is super value tier. 16 to 20.
Story's all just about health. He's right around the same range as Bichette. He's like 115 or so.
Oh, really? He's going. Okay, never mind. Maybe that's not a value then. I can't believe he's actually going that high. I kind of expect regression here. Probably should. He had a phenomenal year last year, like too good of a year. 25 homers, 31 steals. Batting average is fine, 263. I think we can expect that if he gets a 330 BABIP again. Probably more like a 250 batting average though. So I'd expect a little bit of batting average regression. Homers are fine. I think he can do 25 homers again. But John, do you expect Trevor Story to have 31 steals again? That was a career high for him.
What are the attempt rates? Because he's always been aggressive. It's just we haven't gotten a full look at him.
He's 31 steals, only caught stealing one time. He's a good runner. I don't expect him to get that many bags again, though. Like 20, 25 homers, 20 bags this year. I think that's pretty doable, right? Probably 250 batting average instead of 260.
The attempt rate was actually lower than usual last year, 22%. And in the short time he played in 2023 and 2024, he was around 35, 36%. So the attempt rate came down. Just the difference was he played 100 more games than he usually does, 157 games. He didn't, he completely avoided injuries. So it's hard to know when you're just looking at what we're looking at on the screen here because you have to balance all these. But yeah, he's always been a home runs and steals guy, strikes out a lot, batting average really shot down there for a few years, but up to 263 last year. If you think he stays healthy, I think he's a good pick, but you have that question. You also have a higher strikeout rate, and there's some volatility with that. So I don't know. It's if you want to play for the upside, you can take him. He was a second round value. He was free last year, and then he returned top 20 hitter stats. So it's pretty great, but you can't feel great about the health or the age and stuff. So volatile, but depending on which way you want to go, safety or upside.
Yeah. Are you picking Jeremy Pena or are you picking Trevor Story?
Probably totally league dependent, and probably rather take a shot on Story, see if you can hit the upside again. But Pena's a lot safer.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next group of guys here. We got Jacob Wilson in here. Jacob Wilson is your batting average cheat code. Yeah. So if you picked I don't know, if you have Eugenio Suarez on your team, you picked him to play third base. You don't have a shortstop or middle infielder yet. Jacob Wilson is a nice counterbalance to a guy like that, or to a Murakami or Colson Montgomery. If you needed, Jacob Wilson, I feel like Jacob Wilson better middle infield pick because you want to see how your team is coming before you pick him. In my mind, but he's better than Luis Arias, right? You think that he has way more upside than Luis Arias. Similar player, maybe a little bit less batting average, but I think you'll take that for a little bit of power, right?
Yeah, he hit 13 homers last year, right? He projects for less than that, 7. He really doesn't hit the ball hard, but the park, I don't know if it was about the park last year. I think his home road splits were somewhat even. Let me pull that up, actually. If I remember right, it's not like all of his homers were at home. 7 at home, 6 on the road. So slugged a lot better at home, 489 versus 402, but he hit homers on the road. It's not all this park thing. So he can hit hard line drives, hard-ish, nothing crazy high, max EV of 108. So the projection is 7. Maybe you can hit 10, but you're not. You got to build around it, like you said. Definitely better than Arise, though. I mean, I guess Arise is probably safe at the top of the lineup, but so is Wilson. And yeah, Arise is pretty proven to hit like 3 or 4 homers. And then he goes to San Francisco. He might not hit a single one, So, and then Wilson is younger, and the batting averages should be good. I don't like this type of player, though, just because my head's always focused on homers and steals, like I said, and he projects for 12 total of those. So I don't like it at all. But if you really, really need batting average, if you've got yourself a Murakami type where you can get the power but not the average, then he's a savior there, but I'd rather not.
I just wish he was the leadoff hitter, man. Like, can't we get Jacob Wilson hitting right in front of Nick Kurtz and Kurtz hitting second? Like, if you had right now, their projected lineup is Kurtz, Linglier, Soderstrom, Roker. If you have just put Wilson right in front of that, all of a sudden his value, he's going to have 120 runs hitting in front of that as a 300 hitter. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't just put him right in front, because he's such a good contact hitter, and then go those guys. Like, traditionally, your lineup build, you should have your best hitter hitting second and your second best hitter hitting fourth. That's like what the statistics say you should be doing. So it makes way more sense to just throw Jacob Wilson right in the front of those guys. But, it is what it is, I guess. Like, we'll see if they do it. It makes sense, too, from a righty-lefty lineup construction perspective, because he's a righty and Kurtz is a lefty. So it'd actually play right. Like, it would play perfect if they just moved. Will and Jacob Wilson hitting back-to-back in the middle of the lineup is just so weird. It's like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
You're gonna play your home runs to lead off the game, so you're going to get a bunch of solo shots, and then you're going to have these little like 2 really great contact hitters who are basically like more or less the same guy hitting back-to-back, and then who's going to drive him in then? It's like, what? Denzel Clark's going to drive him in? I don't think so.
Have we looked at spring, what they're doing? Because maybe last year they didn't lead him off just because they didn't know he was good.
I have not looked. I'm just looking at roster resource right now.
So we've got the shout out to my tools. We've got the lineup tracker in spring, updating daily, showing you.
Now you got to trick Mike Curlin to come in and do that.
Yeah, but we don't need him anymore. Me and TJ Stats can just steal his ideas and just take it. Do it all ourselves. Wilson has hit fifth, first. So the last 3 games he's been in there, he's hit leadoff. It could just be like he was a 120 WRC plus last year. He really proved himself. So I think that you're not alone in thinking that. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he ends up there, because you're right. Your points are right. But it makes sense that they wouldn't have wanted to do that last year, because they didn't know, and he was a rookie. It wasn't his first time in the league, but I think it was his first full season. So
Kurtz was a rookie too. Yeah. How many solo shots do you need him to hit? He's going to hit 50 or 60 home runs, and half of them are going to be solo shots. Like,
yeah, I think Wilson gets to the top of the line. We've already seen that. Like I said, last 3 spring games, hitting leadoff. So me and Hunter, we're going to work on a kind of just looking at all these lineups. The WBC is going to throw that off because a lot of teams are missing guys. But we were going to look at kind of the first week of spring to see lineups and see if we could find some of that stuff. But yeah, shout out to Mike Curland. You can't even say the word spring and lineup in the same sentence without, shouting out to him. Especially because I like the guy. We're friendly. He wouldn't come after me, I don't think. I think we're boys enough for me to steal his ideas. But that's that. We're running late on time now because I've been disconnected.
Yeah, that's all right. Next is Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn is currently projected to hit 5th. I don't know if I buy that. Maybe I think Wynn might actually hit like 3rd or something like that. This lineup is going to be like the roster resource on this lineup is completely wrong. JJ Weatherholt's going to be leading off for this team. He's not going to be hitting 6th. That's crazy. Herrera hitting 2nd makes sense. Then maybe you put Mason Wynn 3rd and Alec Burleson 4th. I don't think you want Nolan Gorman striking out 40% of the time as your cleanup hitter. That's going to be terrible. As a Cardinals fan, I'm going to shoot myself in the head if I have to see 2 guys on and Nolan Gorman strikes out or hits into double plays.
Just don't watch the games.
Half of the first innings. So
you don't have to see it if you don't watch. Just give up on him.
Dude, it's gonna make me so mad. JJ Weatherholt's gonna get on. Herrera's gonna hit a double or something. They're both gonna be on 2nd and 3rd, and then Nolan Gorman's just gonna end the inning striking out or I don't know, doing something stupid. I'm gonna hate that. So please don't do it, Cardinals.
Tank for that Chalowski guy, right? Rock.
No, that's already. It's too late. White Sox aren't gonna pick him first overall. That'll be the next year. It'll be someone who I don't even know. So probably some 12-year-old.
Right. Yeah.
Which I know you love that. I think the Phillies just signed a 12-year-old or something like that. So
yeah. It's just a commitment, right? It's like a verbal commitment. It's not like
yeah, they haven't officially signed him yet. Number 19 is Colt Emerson, who could break camp for the Mariners. If he breaks camp for the Mariners, this could be huge. Colt Emerson could hit like 280 with 15 or 20 home runs and like 5 or 10 steals. So that could be a really nice steal if he does break camp. So keep an eye on Colt Emerson this spring. Number 20, Anthony Volpe. Like the dude has nowhere to go but up at this point. So I feel like Volpe's a good value. Am I wrong? Like if you need steals, he's a poor man's CJ Abrams, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's hurt. And
so that means he's like a double poor man's Trey Turner. Because if CJ Abrams is the poor man's Trey Turner and Anthony Volpe is the poor man's CJ Abrams, it just means he's like a third world country version of Trey Turner.
It's like a Russian nesting doll. You put them on.
All right, that's an AI clip. Anthony Volpe is a Russian nesting doll. That's an AI clip right there.
Volpe's inside Abrams, who was inside Turner, who was inside Ellie or something like that. Yeah, not Ellie, I guess. But, he's gonna miss a couple weeks, so that's the problem. And he fine. Once he's in there, like steals, hits ninth though, right? They've totally given up on him at the top of the lineup, so that's not great. But
okay,
he's underrated.
Who are you picking, Anthony Volpe or Victor Scott II?
Oh, Volpe.
Yeah, more power. So there you go.
Yeah. He had 20. He had a 2020 season his rookie year. We forget about that.
Yeah, I mean, 252 BABIP last year. This guy's too fast for a 252 BABIP. You know what I mean? Like when you look at a fast guy with a BABIP that low, you know there's going to be positive regression ahead. He doesn't hit the ball that soft, like a 32% hard hit rate. His line drive rate was down from a career where he was having 21 to 22% line drive rates down to a 15. Like he has positive regression coming his way. So Volpe has nowhere to go but up. So I think that there's good value here.
And even in that last year where everybody hated him when he hit 212, he still hit 19 homers and stole 18 bags. So I like it.
All right. We got a group of 10 or something to throw up here to close out the pod?
I think so. Let's see.
That was big tier.
Final tier. I went 5.
Final countdown tier.
I got 2 more 5s. I went the whole way to 50 for you. Swanson, Lawler, Aiden Miller, Connor Griffin, Xavier Edwards. I didn't even go after your Colt Emerson thing. I think it's crazy. The dude's never been in the majors. I think there's adjustments, but you know better than I. But Colt Emerson, you can pick him up for free. He's not going to be anywhere near like the top 300 picks this year. So someone to watch. But Swanson, pretty safe. Just kind of a oatmeal dude or whatever we call him. Just like safe, but not exciting.
Yeah. And then, of course, we've got like this tier is super interesting. So we got Jordan Lawler here, going to break camp in the outfield. You love the position eligibility that you're going to get between short and outfield. That's really nice. Power speed. As long as the dude can hit breakers, he's going to be fine because he hits fastballs. We talked about it in the last pod with Ross. If you want to look at his batted ball breakdown, we threw his batter against pitch type up on that pod. So check that out. Aiden Miller here, we also talked about on the pod with Ross when we were talking about prospects. I think that he's going to play half of a season. The Phillies have been trying to trade Bohm for like 2 years. So I think like at some point, Aiden Miller is just going to work his way onto the team. Like they obviously, for whatever reason, want someone better than Bohm at third. Aiden Miller, I think, can just work in even though he's going to be shortstop eligible because that's what he's been playing in the minors. He'll be able to come up and play third base. It was kind of projected when he was drafted that he would be a third baseman, and he's been way better defensively and athletically than was ever kind of assumed when he was drafted. Connor Griffin here at 24. This is your wild card. I don't know, man. Connor Griffin, if the Pirates sign him to a long-term extension, he's probably a top 10 pick, top 10, if not better. Like for redraft, like let me just tell you, Connor Griffin, if it comes out that Connor Griffin he signs a deal with the Pirates, I'm picking him ahead of Perdomo, dude. I'm probably picking him around Trey Turner, Bo Bichette. Like he's a 5th or 6th rounder to me. If the Pirates sign him right off the bat.
I think you're really assuming that he doesn't struggle at the beginning. I wouldn't do that. I never do that. You know me by now. I think he could strike out a lot.
Ellie.
He's in a great, and then a million guys that we've all forgotten about, right? That nobody remembers because they flamed. I'm not saying Griffin's ever going to flame out, but first few months, I think you could just see a high strikeout rate. He's a pretty aggressive hitter, which isn't the best thing. I mean, the skills are obviously great. PNC Park, not the best place for right-handed power, so I think it could be pretty underwhelming initially. And I'm an actual realist. I'm not a Pirate fan. I'm a Pirate fan. I'm not like you, where I just think you're over the moon on every Cardinals prospect. So I wouldn't I wouldn't put him near the top 10. And I also don't think they're. I do think they'll offer an extension, and I think they'll have to consider it. It's an interesting discussion. I guess I don't have time for it now. Like, is it right for these 19-year-olds to just take the money now and instead of having to wait and prove themselves or whatever? I think that's a good idea. I still think most likely he starts.
If they give him like 8, give him an 8-year deal. You know what I mean? But they get 2 extra years of control. They're buying out ARB. They don't have to worry about fighting in arbitration. Just give him like an 8-year deal. That's the way to do it because this was fair. You can't offer him like 12 years or 15 years. He's never going to take that. So you have to think about it from that perspective. Like,
but then
take that.
But then they're paying him more than they're paying him a ton to just get 2 more years when they could just pay they could pay him almost nothing for 4 years. So then it's like, does the team even want to do that? So you just have to find the sweet spot, I guess. I still think I think he starts at AAA.
Figure out what you have to do is you have to math out what would his arbitration likely be. Like, be like, okay, if this dude turns into whoever we think he's gonna be, or at least like even like 90% of what we think he could be, then you just take that valuation based on WAR, and then you take out how much ARB he's projected to get with inflation, and then you add on 2 years of an extra 60 mil or whatever, 50, 60 mil, and there you go.
You assume that your WAR projection is right, which it could be pretty wrong. I don't know, but that's his benefit.
8 years, 120 million. Do you think Connor Griffin says no to 8 years, 120 million?
No, I think he takes it because that's perfect for him because then he gets the free agency still in his prime. So it's it's no brainer in my opinion for him. Do the Pirates do it though? I don't know. So Xavier Edwards, you're like crazy down on Xavier Edwards, way below Jacob Wilson, but I would almost I think I would take Edwards over, dude. So is that him?
Yeah, that's what Blake Snell said about him when they traded him.
That was him. How about that? Yeah. Xavier Edwards. Yeah. Legend.
Yeah, man.
Average in steals, no power, 64 F-power. That's bad.
Yeah, 4 career home runs. So if you want a guy who's going to hit 2 home runs and steal 30 bags, okay. I just hate that type of player on my teams. So I don't want it.
Okay, Jacob Wilson's going to hit like 6 homers and steal no bases. So
yeah, and he's going to have a 300. He's going to have a better batting average. Okay, so Xavier Edwards, 298 career batting average is actually pretty good. 283 last year. I think that he actually, he's hit for better batting averages than one would think. I guess it's because he's so fast because his contact rates and his hit to play out or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't want guys that have 0 home runs. It puts you in too big of a hole.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. All right, next 5.
6.
We'll do 30. We'll do 30. Okay. We'll do these ones quick.
26. Carson Williams. I haven't heard this dude's name. I mean, is he? What's going on? I need to look at the lineup tracker, but nobody's talking about him. Why not? I thought we were going to get hyped.
80 grade. Yeah, I don't know. 80 grade glove. 172 batting average last year. Guess what? He's hitting 400 in spring. So where's his hype, right?
Right.
Yeah, and he's got power and he's got speed. Now I don't think he's going to be a good. I think what you're going to get out of him is maybe like a worse version of Trevor Story. Like you have like a 220 hitter version of Trevor Story, where he could be like if you hit 250, he'd be like a 25 guy, but he's not going to hit 250, so he'll probably be like 220, 2020. I think that's pretty solid for Carson Williams. He's going to play all the time because he's an amazing defender. So he's not going to be taken out of the lineup. He's a 80 grade glove.
Have they committed? My question is he the opening day shortstop? Like, have they said anything?
Who else? Taylor Walls, Ben Williamson. Yeah. I guess Williamson could. Taylor Walls, no, he's done.
Yeah, I would like to know. I mean, he's not someone you need to draft in a 12-team league or anything like that, but he could definitely be like a sneaky deeper league play this year. Like you kind of we did the Rays preview together, prospect preview like in January, and got me pretty interested in it. But yeah, it's going to be a disastrous batting average. He struck out a ton even in the minors, so that could be so bad that he can't even hang. Even maybe he's so bad with the bat that even the defense isn't enough to keep him in there, and he's got to go to AAA to work some stuff out hitting wise. But 2020, every single year, this dude does it in the minors, so he's interesting.
This is what he reminds me of. He reminds me of Zach Galoff, except he has an 80 grade glove. So if Zach Galoff had an 80 grade glove, that's basically what he reminds me of. And Zach Galoff had a really good year the one year, so it can happen. We also have here Otto Lopez, kind of boring. Josh Smith is good for bench player because he plays like every single position except for catcher. So if you just want a guy who plays every position in case someone gets hurt, Josh Smith is awesome for that, especially because he's going to play all the time. 29, Carlos Correa. Just I'm not a fan. If he's healthy, he's going to go 20 homers, no steals, 260, 270 batting average, but he's never healthy. So you're probably going to get 260, 270 batting average with 14 home runs and 1 steal or something like that.
Plays third base too, though.
Yeah,
that helps.
Yeah, it helps. I mean, he's okay, I guess. He's like a last resort type guy. This is the last guy that he's okay, I missed everyone else. Let me get Carlos Correa, just so I fill some stats. And then 30, Thomas Sajazi. I think Sajazi could get a decent amount of playing time this year. If Nolan Gorman is terrible, then Sajazi is going to be the guy who fills in. He has a really good hit tool. In the minors, he won the minor league hitter of the year back in 2024. So really good hitter, Thomas Sajazi. And he hit a home run the other day for whatever. He's playing for a country. I can't remember what country he's playing for, but he had a home run for him. So,
yeah, I have no idea what that name country would even correspond
Italian.
to.
I think he's Italian, dude. I think he was playing for Italy and hit a bomb. He's playing with Vinny P, I guess. Then if you want to go deep, we got Cooper Pratt, Ezekiel Duran, Daryl Hernandez, Joey Ortiz, Jared Triolo, Chase Maidroth, Ha-Seong Kim, who's hurt, Gabriel Arias, Leo Verpiguero, and Nasim Nunez.
Sorry, I skipped one. That was 41 to 50.
Okay.
Here's
who we missed.
Here's 31 to 40.
Okay, so yeah, those are your DC guys. 31 to 40. You might actually have these guys in a 15 teamer playing middle infield.
Yeah.
You got Brooks Lee, JP Crawford, Xander Bogaerts, Nacho Alvarez, who could get some decent playing time with Ha-Seong Kim hurt. 35, Maximo Acosta, who I actually like. Doc and I both like Maximo Acosta. Super underrated prospect who could be solid. He's not going to be a star or anything by any means, but he could be a solid player. 36, Blaze Alexander. 37, Brian Rocchio. 38, Ryan Ritter. 39, Jose Caballero. 40, Kalen Culpepper, who I think is up around midseason. So you're getting half a year's of stats for Kalen Culpepper.
Crazy low on the steals darling Caballero. Led the league in steals this year. Will start at shortstop for them until Volpe's back, and maybe ends up being third baseman with McMahon being bad. And I like him in those roto leagues where you're just looking for one dude to steal a bunch of bases, and you disrespect Xander Bogaerts, I would say. I don't think he's done yet.
So Caballero reminds me exactly of what's his face? The guy from the Marlins, John Birdie. He's basically the now version of John Birdie, and so that means he's just so playing time dependent. How much PT will he get? I don't know. He's only projected for 300 at bats, and the Bat X has him at a 216 batting average.
He hit 236 last year. He hit 5 homers, stole those 49 bags. I don't know. It's very specific if you're in a deep categories league where you need steals. Because even like you said, he plays outfield, he plays shortstop, he plays second, he plays third. So I think he'll get in there plenty. And even if you're in a league where you set one lineup a week, he'll have games where he doesn't start, but then pinch runs and steals a base, and he gets you 2 or 3 steals a week. Even if he's not starting. So I don't know. There's a case for him. I'm not saying someone you want to start, but
I guess. I mean, so for instance, all these guys up to about Acosta should be getting regular playing time this year. Should be starters probably. Alexander will probably get a ton of at bats. I just expect some of these other guys to get more playing time. Hence why they are higher.
Didn't Blaze Alexander get traded?
Yes, he is now on the Orioles, and basically he's their super sub. He's going to be the Ramon Urias of this year. So he's going to play all their positions, basically. I mean, Tyler O'Neill is only going to play a third of the season. That guy's never healthy. So
maybe he'll just retire. He's causing a lot of problems for us, Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, well, at least he I think they just want him. He's the highest paid gym workout coach in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, just there for the looks, there for the social media posts or something like that.
Yep. All right, that's the podcast. Those are all the shortstop rankings, redraft style from moi. Make sure that you subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse and give us a follow on the X at Fantasy Aceball at JohnPGH, so John can actually get to 30,000 instead of a fake 30,000 followers.
Only 9,000 away. That was such a miscalculation, man. I don't know, people. I said it on the podcast one day. I said I'm about to hit 30,000 followers. I was about to hit 20,100. I was about to hit 21,000. I was embarrassingly bad. So thank you. But yeah,
that's funny.
Let me get 9,000 more followers to get there.
That's all right. I'm almost at 5, so I'm getting close to 5. Let's get me to 5, and then also, yeah, you're killing me, bro. And then also, you're killing me, Smalls. Also, let's make sure that you buy the prospect package so I can go to more baseball games. I'm currently planning to go to the Orioles.
You sold one during this podcast.
Yes, there we go. I'm currently planning to go see the Orioles because I want to go check out this new lineup and check out Gunnar and stuff like that. So I'm currently planning to go see the Orioles next week.
Bradley Bradenberg is trying to help you out.
There we go.
Thank you, Bradley.
That's a homie right there. So make sure you buy the prospect package so I can go to more games. Yes. That's it. We'll see you next time. We got Dynasty stuff coming up and maybe our new person. So enjoy.